Hello again, folks. Today we are in the Volkswagen Golf TSI R line with the sound and style optional package. So this car comes in at about 177,000 ringgit here in Malaysia, and it's basically the Golf TSI with the additional R line style to it, the look to it, and also the sound and style optional package, which adds basically aluminium pedals, aluminium scuff plates, and also 300 watt HELIX sound bar subwoofer basically to the standard sound system. So I've driven this revised Golf Mark 7.5, as what people say, the new Golf. So now it's basically another revisit to the car, courtesy of Volkswagen Passenger Cars Malaysia. Anyway, so how does the car perform? Car, after what I drove this car was sometime in March, I think April, on the Sepang International Circuit. We had a nice track day, and I managed to take this car out for a few laps. So performance is good, definitely. For 1.4 liter, it's good. Can't complain. Prior to that, I did a trip to Johor, back from Johor in the Johor Bahru, from Puteri Harbour during the middle drive, back to Kuala Lumpur in this car. So in this 1.4, not this exact car, but basically 1.4 R line also. So performance of this R line is basically like any 1.4 TSI, but it does have that 17-inch wheels, R design style of alloy wheels, 225 45 17-inch wheels, tires, and ride is good, it's comfortable, it rides decently quiet and pliant and all on normal drives. In terms of grip and all, I must say that it has that balance of, it's just enough for 150 horsepower. Let's put it that way. This car has 150 horsepower and 250 torque, Newton meters worth of torque, and it handles all well. Ride is good. It's got that balance between the standard 16-inch. I think it rides a bit better than the 16-inch, which was basically a bit too wallowy, and was basically 16-inch 205 series balloon tires in some ways. You can't complain much from that. So this is a good step up from that, but not as wide or as big as the 18-inch wheels on the Golf GTI. So this is still not a Golf GTI in terms of performance. It's still a bit more, it's a lot less nuggety compared to the Golf GTI. It's actually very, what shall we say, it's actually above the class average in terms of C-segment hatchbacks in terms of this one. So it's basically what you're getting here for 177,000 ringgit is a premium hatchback for the family. In terms of noise suppression, it's all quiet and all. You can tell inside this cabin, I'm having quite a throat issue right now, so my voice isn't as usual. So, but it's all quite harsh and all inside this cabin, and seating position is nice. Everything is nice inside here. So yeah, cabin is all good, fitted out with nice soft touch plastics and all. Steering wheel is nice. Everything's ergonomic. Typically Volkswagen Mark 7.5, can't go wrong. When I sat in it last time, it felt as good as this. Now it's still as good as this. I can't complain on that point at all. In terms of leather seats and all, they got the R line badging on the seats with the R there. So, oh no. So yeah. So basically the seats are nice and comfortable. The cabin is nice. It doesn't have the bling out of, say, an Audi or say any other of the premium German brands, because it's basically a Volkswagen people's car. It's meant to be some sort like quality product from German manufacturer. So it is basically that. No bling, less bling. It has all the usual gizmos and gadgets which you want inside this cabin. This sound and style package adds an 8-inch infotainment system. It already has the active information display, which is all nice, because the active information display is basically a digital instrument cluster, and also all the readouts are there. It also tells you how much, right now, end of my week with this car, it's showing me that I have averaged about 8.9 kilometers and all. I have about 160 kilometers worth of fuel inside this tank. I mean, everything is laid out and legible inside this car. Can't complain much in terms of equipment and all. Maybe if you're saying that there's no active safety and all, yeah, there's no blind spot sensors, there's no rear traffic cross alert, there's no this one. It does have the standard say resume for auto cruise and all, but of course no active auto cruise or something like that. So it's quite basic in terms of what is fitted inside this car, because I understand that because this is fully imported, so you have to keep the price down and all. But in terms of sound and style, this car definitely has it. The extra optional HELIX 300 watt sound bar basically is a big subwoofer. It allows you that additional boom 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 for your bass and all, to make up for a lack of vroom in some ways. But that being said, the sound system only basically helps you, the woofer helps you in terms of you have to blast it a bit, then you can feel it's worth it. If you don't add volume, it just feels like any ordinary Volkswagen Golf TSI sound system for that matter. So blast the sound system to get the full effect of the HELIX soundbar here. So anyway, interior is fine, it's nice, the cabin is so practical and all, with exception of the soundbar, which is removable. So if you have to carry stuff from, say, the Home Depot, from IKEA, or from whatever hardware shop and all, or you want to carry a bicycle and all, the soundbar is removable, so that's not a problem. So what else is there interior wise? Okay, interior wise there's nothing. Let's move on to the driving and the performance of this car. So it does not come with flappy pedals, which is not a shame, because it's a family hatchback. Actually, it's not a Golf GTI again. So anyway, you still can use the gear knob here. There's the normal, the 7-speed dry clutch DSG. Has the normal drive mode and also a sports mode, and also a plus minus manual mode for if you just want to have that more connection with this car, So it does work and all. So again, okay, so driver and car synergy is quite good. Seats are good, comfortable, grips at the sides, everything is nice and all. I get lots of headroom. I'm about 5'8" like that. Old school, don't ask me about how much in centimeters. I forgot. Usually I keep on forgetting. Anyway, the DSG works very nice. It shifts fast and all. I think it's not as fast as say a Golf GTI, which also I think this gearbox has been tweaked a bit more by Volkswagen so that it doesn't shift so fast and all, which I think preserves the gearbox longevity in some ways. So it's still fast, especially in sport mode. In normal mode, it feels a bit draggy and all, which I think is good for economy. Not for spirited driving. Put it in sports mode and then it really goes in some ways. It goes for 1.4 liter engine. Engine pumps out 150 PS, 250 Newton meters of torque, which is actually quite high for a turbocharged 1.4 liter direct injection petrol engine. So a lot of power there. It goes through the front wheels via this 7-speed dry clutch DSG, and also it has an electronics diff XDS. So most likely it controls via the brakes and all, putting where the torque and the power is required, where it needs the most. So in terms of power delivery, it's all very efficient and all. So 150 horses is actually very efficient in this car. There's also a stop start function for you to save petrol if you like to do so. You can turn it off also. So there's a nice big button that says you can off the thing, and then there's also individual controls from eco, comfort, performance or sports, and also individual mode in terms of drive settings, which will, I think, tune the steering wheel weighting. It also adds how soon the aircon compressor will kick in, how the engine mapping is, and how fast the gearbox wants to shift. So it's all down to you in terms of how to set this car up, whether you want it to be very playful or you just want to save fuel. You're a miser, you're a Scrooge, you really need to save your pennies, your cents, your ringgit. You can run it in eco mode, which is, I personally don't like eco mode things because they're just so dull. It dulls everything. But anyway, if you are the kind of person who likes that extra fuel saving mode, put it in eco mode. Even for me, I'm getting about average of between 9 liters per 100 km to about 8 liters per 100 km, depending on how heavy on my foot is on the pedal. I know a lot of you can get up to about 6.6 in this car. Most likely most people can get about 6, but since I'm a road tester, I'm a bit heavy on the happy pedal. Okay, so cornering all is nice and all, it's fun. This car is meant for the autobahn, so it's meant to be enjoyed. So if you do a kick down and all, it works fine. Because of the suspension also has quite a lot of travel. It does soak up all the bumps and undulations on any road, most likely. Brakes are also nice. There's quite a good feel to it. It's like not over servoed. It's just nice for you to give it a bit of pedal, and no complaints in terms of that. So steering is also nice, very responsive, not as dirty or anything. It's all balanced. Tail somehow seems a bit playful in some ways. I've driven it on Sepang and all, and I kind of like it. Of course, on Sepang the 225 series tires are just adequate. It could do with a lot more grip. So anyway, acceleration. It will do 0 to 100 in under 9 seconds. It's about 8.6 seconds thereabouts. It will go on to about 210 kilometers per hour plus minus, and it can cruise at speeds above 160 on the highways if you want to do. As I said, it's designed for the autobahn. So Golf TSI is actually quite good. So with this package and all, the only issues are, I would say that it's the price, 177,000. But that being said, it comes with a 5-year warranty here in Malaysia. It also comes with, I think it depends on the service package at the time of purchase. And if like end of the year right now, there's also a rebate for the car. Early the year, say 2020, there'll be a rebate for this car also. So it's basically quite a decent package and all. Okay, what are the competitors in this car? In terms of refinement and all, I think the Japanese competitors are still a step back. In terms of premium competitors, they are all easily bar the 1 series, which is about, maybe if it's still on sale by BMW Malaysia, it will be around the 190,000 ringgit price mark. And with rebates, it might be at this car's price. When this car gets rebates, it might be at a price slightly lower. So on that point, this car is great value for money if you think about it, against its German rivals. So what more can I say? If you're worried about maintenance at all, about the DSG, I've been recently sitting in a lot of DSG equipped cars, dual clutch cars. A lot of them have dual clutch transmissions nowadays. Even if you're talking about like what, even the Renault Captur has dual clutch transmissions. The certain Korean cars also has DCT nowadays. Mercedes-Benz runs DCT. This gearbox has been, I think, revived until it's basically slightly smoother in terms of city driving and all. So not much on gear change slurs or you know, whether during crawls and all you can feel the gears lurching or what. Nothing of that. It feels like a normal automatic in some ways. On the point that it is not, you can feel it, especially going up a slope. It acts like a normal clutch based car in some ways, because it is an automatically electronically controlled clutch there, and it does have heel hold assist to assist you in terms of gradients and slopes and all. So it's all fine there. If you drive it, you use the heel hold button and all. So all good. Gearbox seems to be very much improved than say 5 years ago, when you heard all the problems and all. About 5 years ago. These days it's much lesser from what I've been told, from what I've been scouting at the workshops and all. Personally, it's fast, and maybe this is the price you have to pay for speed and all. Anyway, if it's under warranty, run the car for 5 years. buy a new one after 5 years. Try another car after 5 years. But this car, if you're using it for 5 years, in terms of urban city drive and all, you're trying to be comfortable and all, it's got very nice seats. The cabin is harsh and quiet. It gives you all that you want in a premium luxury brand, but without the actual brand itself, I would say. But everything is solid, everything is well put together in terms of how it is. It is basically a luxury car without the bling. That is what this Volkswagen Golf is, and maybe that is what the target crowd is. It's basically for those people who don't want to show off and want something with a bit more class, refinement, and a bit more understatedness in their life. They're humble people, basically. This car is for humble people. But this humble car, this people's car, still can drive very well. And that's the important thing in terms of why I'd say a Volkswagen is still deserving of a drive experience from any of you out there. This may be a 1.4 TSI, but it's good enough. With the 1.4 R-Line, with the R-Line makeup, bit of lipstick, lip gloss, a bit of this foundation here and there, it turns a normal compact hatchback C-segment into something which is a bit more in a little black dress, using a bit of high heels, a bit more makeup, So it does make, say, somebody like who's a plain Jane. The plain Jane looks a bit more better looking than usual. So this is what the Golf R-Line is all about. It is a bit on that. It gives you a bit extra, Of course, again, as I said, Malaysian money is bad. 77,000 ringgit for a car, but maybe cost maybe 20k to 25k in Europe, 25,000 euro or 25,000 pounds and all. Get you a better car than this also, in fact, 25,000 pounds. So it's sad to say, but we are living in Malaysia, so import charges, duties and all add up to the price of this car. Other than that, it's fine. It's fantastic. For 1.4 liter, I think as a substitute for, say, if I don't want to pay more for what I'm driving right now, anything above 200,000, this is a very fair substitute for that. So it's a car for people who just want to go under the radar. Yeah, it's nice enough. Everything is just nice. Alright, so this is my review of this 1.4 TSI. I'm Rickva. I'm from Motoring Malaysia. I basically run Motoring Malaysia. Motoring Malaysia is me, and I am Motoring Malaysia. So if you like this review, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this review, click on the dislike button twice, okay? And please do subscribe. It'll help a lot. Alright, later, dudes.